What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review, the series where I talk about books I read in the previous week, or in the case of this week, weeks, because we've got a review-a-thon going on. This episode, episode 527, covers books that were released November 1st, the first week of November, as we get close to catching up to present day books. This is going to be a shorter review. We've only got like 7 books in this review, but we're going to waste no time. We're going to get into it. Again, no screens, no covers until we catch up. And again, reviews are going to be a bit less detailed. But again, this is all to catch up and finally get the reviews on time. So, we're going to start with Grimm Fairy Tales issue number 77. Seela is fighting her friend Ivy, who is under some kind of control. And you've got Sky somewhere else with her dead friend Tamora. And Tamora and gets Sky in a bunch of trouble by the end of the issue. But going back to Seela, we find out that something has taken over. I believe it was Wonderland she was in. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But wherever she is, something's taken over and has affected her friend and affected the world. And Seela finds a way to finally break through to her friend after a huge fight, frees her, but the thing that infected her ends up getting away. This book, I'm really glad I jumped back in. This is all setting up, obviously, for the next big event that's going to be going on in the Grimm Fairy Tales universe. Love it. Love the artwork. If you're not reading Grimm Fairy Tales, you are missing out. It is a really awesome read. I'm glad I jumped back in as the reviews began again. King Spawn, issue number 27. As I mentioned in the last issue, Spawn made the declaration that he is going for the throne of hell. And in this issue, we see him on the start of his journey to the throne of hell. Just that. And I love this. I love the fights that were in here. I love how he's like, listen, I'm going to take over the throne. And he comes face to face with, I forgot who the demon was, but he says, you're going to be the message to the rest of hell that I'm coming for the throne. And anyway, it was a really good issue. I liked it a lot. Okay. So next up, we're in Marvel, X-Men, issue number 28. Again, we have the traitor to the X-Men, who's really not a traitor. She's playing double agent. She ends up getting information from Orchid and ends up giving it to Juggernaut as he's escaping. But of course, she has to make it look good. So she gets her ass handed to her by Juggernaut. But Juggernaut's able to get the information to the X-Men that are already out there that aren't prisoners. Cyclops is still a prisoner. And again, this is where the main stuff is going on. So you've got a lot of all the other X-Books events kind of coming together here. But I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. This might get me interested in checking out the big event that's going to be coming. I believe it's going to start in December, where it's going to be the grand finale of Krakoa, or the final fight for Krakoa and the end, and the X-Men coming back to the norm, where death is death again, because the fact that you could kill a mutant and then they'll just be brought back, kind of OP. Not going to lie. And we've been going through this now for what? Half a decade we've been doing this with X-Men. It's about time X-Men went back to their roots a little bit and stopped having like the God card or the Respawn card. Ultimate Universe issue number 1. Now, before I get into this, I would like to mention that I don't believe there's no reason why these books should be as expensive as they are. And I want to make triple sure that I'm not crazy here when I say that this is a $10 book. I just want to really quickly look it up. While I'm looking it up, story follows Tony Stark rescuing Thor and bringing Thor into the Ultimate Universe, as well as them trying to find a way to free Cap from his icy prison. a lot of it is just most of that. It's mostly focusing on Thor, and we also get Captain Britain who shows up and ends up trying to put a monkey wrench into the plans, and also Lady Sif is with Thor because Thor is a prisoner in Asgard for doing some bad stuff apparently. So she is his what do you call it? She is the one that's holding him like that. That's his kind of like jailer. I don't have the price for it. I believe it's a $10 book. I love the artwork. I love the story. I'm sorry, while I was trying to find the price, I just totally lost myself in the review. But for $10, this is a setup book for what's coming in the Ultimate Universe. At the end of the book, we find out Ultimate Spider-Man's coming. We knew that. Ultimate Black Panther, and then we're getting Ultimate X-Men, and we get 2 preview pages of Ultimate X-Men. And if those 2 preview pages don't make you not want to read Ultimate X-Men, I don't know what will. The artwork for that book, if that is the artwork that is going to be used for Ultimate X-Men, I promise you Ultimate X-Men will be a miniseries. Unless somehow they pull something off and that's just part of the artwork, that artwork will not fit Ultimate X-Men. I'm very excited for Ultimate Spider-Man. I may check out Ultimate Black Panther, maybe. But, man, I hope Ultimate X-Men gets a fix. Again, Ultimate Universe, this is setting up what's going to be going on going forward with the Ultimate Universe. Cap's still on ice. Thor is there, but majorly injured. And Lady Sif is now watching Thor because eventually she's going to take him back and lock him up again, maybe. I don't know. I think, like they were saying in the beginning of the book, Thor could have called his hammer at any time and whooped ass, and he didn't. So obviously Thor believes that he needed to be a prisoner up until that point anyway. Now he doesn't. Loving it. Loving the artwork. Worth $10? No. Again, don't remember the price of the book, though. Spider-Boy issue number 1. If you know nothing about Spider-Boy, it gets explained in this book a bit, not a lot. I don't know Spider-Boy. This was the first issue. Decided to give it a chance. I liked it. You get backstory. You find out that Hellify, I don't know how they played on words with one of his friends who's a mutant elephant. Spider-Boy is an experiment that a female twisted scientist made by combining him and a spider. So he has a lot of Spider-Man's powers, but he's a little different because he wasn't given powers the way Spider-Man got them. I like it, though. I'm definitely sticking around. And I love how he tried to get through to his friend, and apparently something happened, and the world forgot who Spider-Boy was. And the creator of Spider-Boy forgot who he was, too. So now she's even more curious about him. I'm invested. I'll be sticking around with this book. Highly recommend checking it out. We only got 2 books for DC this week. The Supergirl Special, issue number 1, where Kara's having issues remembering Krypton or growing up on Krypton. And you could tell that it hurts a bit, because she misses Krypton. And so many people keep asking her to tell stories about Krypton. And she's having nightmares about Krypton. She even goes to Power Girl. Again, sorry, DC, you're not going to sell me on Power Girl being part of the Superman family. I'm buying Fire and Ice because they are in Smallville. Specifically. That is the only reason why. I'm not a Power Girl fan. I don't care if it's part of the Super family. Not buying nor reading that miniseries. However, Power Girl and Supergirl create a sisterhood ship by the end of the issue where they both kind of have similar memories to Krypton. So they're going to be leaning on each other a bit. Really nice special. I wasn't going to read it. Decided to read it since there was really nothing coming out much for the first week of November. Glad I did. Great artwork. Great story. Now, we had the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman. We now, in this review, have The Return of Superman 30th anniversary one-shot. Excellent book. Cyborg Superman is attacking the city. Present day. Superboy, Steel, and a projection of Eradicator, who is atoning for the sins he did in previous story arcs from the Phantom Zone go off to stop Cyborg Superman. This book is centered around Perry White's notes from the moment all the Supermen showed up after the funeral of Superman. And we get a short story for each. Starts with Steel, has the artwork. It has the same artist from back in the 90s. We had Steel, we had Superboy, then we had Eradicator Superman, we had a short story. It ended with Cyborg Superman. And then with Cyborg Superman, we got a backstory. If you didn't know who Cyborg Superman was, you got a backstory with him. And then, of course, the super family is able to stop Cyborg Superman before Superman even makes it to the scene. And then he does. And it's a happy ending. But again, it's short stories that follow the 4 Supermen that showed up after Superman died. And then the inevitable return of Superman, which is when Clark shows up at the end of the book. I loved it. I'm very happy I got the foil cover. I wish they do a foil cover for the Death of Superman annual, but this was before they started doing these special foil covers. So whatever, it's fine. Excellent book. If you're a Superman fan, this is a must read. The art in the book brings us back to the 90s. This was my book of the week. I loved it. Excellent book. If you didn't get your hands on it, get your hands on it. You will not be sorry. And with that, that's it for this review. So, as always, social media links in the description below. Stay tuned for the next review, which is going to be the next week of November, as we're slowly catching up to the end of November's book release and review. Till then, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see all of you very, very soon in the next review. Take care.